everybody, this is Boog S Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on McFarlane Toys' The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Geralt of Rivia figure. So before we take a look at Geralt, let's take a look at the accessories that he comes with. So first up, he comes with this base. It looks pretty good. This is the standard base we get, but this time it just says The Witcher Wild Hunt. And you can put this on either foot. And he can be a little tricky to get standing, so this base does help with that. So as you can see, that works pretty well. Up next, he comes with this severed werewolf head, and this thing looks so good. The rope around it that he can hold looks really nice. The cut above the eye looks really good. The tongue sticking out, I like that. And then there you get some bloody detail. But I feel like the blood is a little too pink. I feel like it should be a darker color red. But still, it's pretty cool that we got that. So yeah, this looks really awesome. And you're also supposed to be able to hang this werewolf head here on this hook. But it barely stays, because this is a very, very soft piece. It should have been a hard type of plastic. Because as you can see, you can just bend it, and that end wants to bend like crazy when you put the rope on there. So that is my major complaint with this, is I wish this hook would have been a firmer plastic. That way you could have hooked this on. But I did find a better way to put this on. So in the package, this werewolf head, the rope was wrapped around its hair back here. So if you do that and then push the hook through a little farther than it should be, but I think that looks pretty good overall. And finally, he comes with his steel and silver swords. And these look really good. The sculpt detail to the silver sword handle there, and then the inscription on the blade. And this one doesn't have as much sculpt detail, but the handle sculpted really nicely. But the thing is, these are done in a light gray plastic, not silver. These should definitely have been done in silver. I think that would have looked really good. But yeah, they chose to do this in a light gray colored plastic, and I don't like the way that looks at all. It looks just very lazy. And you can also put both swords in the sheath on his back, and that looks really good. So yeah, I do like that McFarlane did that. But it is open on the inside, so you will see the swords right there. That's not really a huge complaint. That doesn't really bother me. So taking a look at the head sculpt, McFarlane Toys did a really awesome job on this head sculpt. The scars look really nice. The eyes look good. And the beard and hair are sculpted very nicely. They look very nice. But there isn't any sort of paint variation to it. I feel like they should have painted some white on there over top of that gray. I think that would have looked really good. So yeah, I might repaint that a little bit, add some white to it, and I think that would really make it pop. And the eyebrows are a little glossy. Not sure why they're so glossy, but yeah, that's an easy fix. And the wolf medallion looks very nice. It's painted on very nicely, and this is done in silver, so I'm not quite sure why the swords weren't. The sculpt detail to all of his armor is amazing. That chainmail looks really nice. You can see the stitching around the armor. That looks so good. And I think a little bit of the brown is showing through, but it kind of looks like some paint variation to the armor. I don't think that's intentional, but it does look pretty good. And then there you get some more of that on the arms. And I have to say, it's painted pretty cleanly. I mean, the paint may be thin in some places where the brown's showing through, but I don't think it's very sloppy. And this is some really fine detail to get that clean. So yeah, that looks incredible. This whole figure is just sculpted really nicely. McFarlane Toys really went above and beyond with the sculpt on this figure. And on the back there, you get his sheaths. And again, they're sculpted really nicely. You can see the stitch work on this one. You get his belt. Again, it looks really good. The silver could have been painted better. As you can see, it's pretty sloppy there. But the belt looks good. You can see more of that stitch work. You can see that hook that irritates me. While I was moving the figure around, the werewolf head fell off. You probably noticed that already, though. And these pants have some nice texturing to them. It's just crazy how much sculpt detail is on him. And then here you have the gloves. They're not as textured. There's some faint texturing there, but it's probably the least textured parts. And the boots look really good, but the knees are very shiny. They're like glittery. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but I noticed that when I was posing this figure around, is that the knees are really glittery. They're a glittery brown. And then here are his boots, and they have that nice leathery texture, and they have some brown painted over top of them. and these ball joints really stick out. I don't really mind these ball joints, but I wish they would have painted some brown over top of it or something, because that kind of stands out to me, you know. But yeah, the sculpt detail to this thing is really, really nice. And surprisingly, for all the armor and stuff that Geralt has on, the articulation isn't hindered as much as I thought it would be. The only place that it's really limited is in his head. So I will go ahead and show the articulation off now. So the head has a ball joint, but you can only move it back just a tiny bit, and down just a tiny bit. And he can move his head side to side all the way, and don't really get much tilt there. So yeah, I don't know if you can extend that neck a little bit. You might be able to extend it and get some more articulation out of that. He has ball jointed shoulders that can move out all the way. As you can see, this is really soft armor, so that articulation isn't hindered there. I was trying to look. I don't think there's a butterfly joint in there. It does kind of move like there's one, but I don't think there's one in there. But yeah, the shoulders can move out all the way, and that's pretty awesome. He has swivel at the bicep that can move all the way around, even with the arms moved out like that. He has a double jointed elbow that can bend in all the way. He has ball jointed wrist that can move up and down and spin all the way around. He has an ab crunch. Now, this ab crunch does move really nicely, but it looks kind of awful when you do it. So first up, there he is bent forward, and that looks kind of bad. Yeah, I was going to say maybe from the front it doesn't look as bad, but yeah, that still looks bad. He can crunch back all the way, and that doesn't look too bad. He can crunch to the side, and again, that looks kind of bad. Not a fan of the way that looks. I mean, I'm glad they gave us that articulation, but yeah, it kind of looks like he's being crunched. And he can move side to side down here. He has hips that can do a complete split. He can actually go above the splits, because as you can see, his hips go a little farther than that. So yeah, he can do better than a split. He can kick forward all the way. He can kick back all the way. He has a thigh swivel that barely moves. He has double jointed knee that can move back that far. He has ball jointed ankles that can move down all the way, back all the way, and spin all the way around. And he has toe articulation. So I only have one size comparison for Geralt. So there he is next to the only other McFarlane gaming figure I have, the Cyberpunk 2077 Johnny Silverhand figure. So overall, this figure is amazing, and I think it's my favorite McFarlane gaming figure, and I definitely plan on getting Aridin as well. I'm pretty sure there's like 3 or 4 more figures planned for the Witcher line, and I will definitely be picking them up, because this figure is amazing. I was really wanting the gold label one, but it doesn't come with the werewolf head, and I just think this one looks better overall. So if you weren't able to find the gold label one, don't worry, because this one is much better than that. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.